Howdy all, I'm Adam Renaissance Nerd. I'm a gamer, you're a gamer, we all love to play games, it's how we pass our time, it's how we escape from everything. And most of the time, we don't care what goes into a game as long as it's fun. But when you have a moment, when you have a company like Ubisoft, who willingly alters history in the franchise of Assassin's Creed, but did it in such a way where we knew it was just funning around. We didn't care. But then they decided to go all in with diversity, equity, and inclusion and make us hate a franchise we used to love because they had to shtup in a black dude who was really insignificant in history and claim he was historical. So we are, of course, talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, the game that will be the final nail in Ubisoft's coffin. Don't get me wrong, Star Wars Outlaws has a lot to do with also Ubisoft being in the position they are right now, but it is Assassin's Creed Shadows that has the most traction with how people feel about Ubisoft in the here and the now. So what we're going to do now that we have gotten the latest news, I'm going to give you guys a nice clean timeline of how this all happened. Because some of you might be wondering, wow, this has been going on for a while. How does it keep pushing back? How is everybody so angry about this? It's very simple. It's very simple. They hate you, the gamer. They hate their fan base. And all they care about is the mythical modern audience that doesn't exist and doesn't buy games. So what we're going to do now, as I said, we're going to go through the timeline since they announced all this garbage last May. They said, hey, here we go. It's Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it's starring Yasuke. He was the black samurai in Japan during Nobunaga's era. And here, we're starting with the Kotaku article because they were praising this. Oh, it's so great. It's so awesome. Who is he? And they give you the bullshit. They give you the bullshit, and they lie to you. This dude is a footnote in history. He was a pet, a toy. He was nothing to Nobunaga. He was not a samurai. And that was where it started. They put it out here, and the big of it is, this is finally an Assassin's Creed game in Japan, what people were begging for a decade or more. And what do they give you? Bullshit. They give you Yasuke and Naoe, a ninja. If it had just been Naoe, none of this would probably be happening. But they had to shtup in Yasuke. So here we go. It started with this, and they immediately lost any credibility. And now we're going to stick with Park Place for the remainder of this video because they have the timeline of these news releases. So thank you, Park Place, for covering this for so long. Right away, it all starts to fall about. Remember, they started to try and pimp this the moment it happened, and immediately the leaks happened. It was not supposed to be Yasuke. It was supposed to be a Japanese monk. And you immediately lose all credibility. You are now obviously doing it for DEI purposes.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
But Ubisoft kept going along. Senior writer for Assassin's Creed Shadows declared, there's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters. Let's do better. So they admit, the same day as they release all this shit, shut up, white people. Shut up. Don't buy our game. You're racists. So they played the racism card immediately and turned off all potential customers. Real gamers, customers. So here you go. We are 1 day into the release. And they have now told us they don't care if we don't like their fake made-up black character. We've been gaslit to think that this guy's real. And we know that it wasn't the original game. They originally had something that was going to be respectful to Japanese culture and lore. Right. Right away, then it's now a day later, May 17th, large YouTubers start to clamp down on what we know. I did my fair share of coverage on this, but guys like Asmongold started to talk about how, guess what? Your $130 for this whole thing, it's unreasonable. You're asking us to pay $130 for this garbage game. Total. Now, base game's only going to be $70, but they wanted to sell you everything that included the day one DLC that they've now turned into free. because they've had to push it back twice, but we're not there. So right away, the criticism began because they were unreasonable, and Ubisoft is completely out of touch. We keep going. The day later, stock plummets. Their stock begins to plummet, and this is right around the time that they released Outlaws. So there was a combination of horrible things going on in Ubisoft, which causes their stock to plummet, and everybody looks at Assassin's Creed Shadow and says, this is your fault, because you made a game that nobody wanted. Well, let me phrase that. You made a version of the game that nobody wanted. Everybody wanted an Assassin's Creed set in Japan. It was tailor-made for this shit. And what do? You give us a fake black historical character in samurai armor. That's what you do. Right away, we have now we get the problem where Ubisoft begins. We get the tale now of the marketing gets worse and the publicity gets worse because they don't know that they don't know, because they don't give a shit. Ubisoft was accused of stealing a banner from a Japanese reenactment group for Assassin's Creed, and they refused to apologize for months. This is now June. You've had a month of bad press, and now it kicks off a whole nother problem of, hey, guess what? You're disrespecting the country you need this to be on board with the most. And they didn't do it. It went so far as they had to have, well, people were petitioning Square Enix, the distributor for the marketing campaign, to say, don't do this. Stop protecting them. Japanese were pissed, and they have remained pissed. And then they go as far as to appropriate One Piece material and claim it's for Assassin's Creed and that it's real. So they took one of Zoro's katanas, his famous katanas from One Piece, and put it in some marketing material for official artwork and say, oh, it's original here. You stole it from Oda Sensei. So now they've just complicated things even more. You have disgraced yourselves in the views of the gaming community, and now you're disgracing yourself in the otaku community, in the Japanese anime manga community. They hate you. Everybody hates you. And it only gets worse. New report claims same-sex romance options confirmed for Assassin's Creed Shadows. That is right. Yasuke and Naue are magay. They will scissor and suck anybody. This is not what we asked for. Yes, was there same-sex stuff in previous Assassin's Creed games? Yes, but you know what? Nobody wanted it now. Nobody really wanted it then. We didn't complain about it then, but now we know what you're doing. You're making them LGBTQ friendly just to own the chuds and to push your agenda. That's what you're doing. So, I mean, people are just dying to see a giant black man in Japan, in feudal Japan, getting it on with a tiny little Japanese dude. That's what everybody's looking for doing, aren't they? This screams agenda. It screams agenda because we learned that the Japanese consultant used by Ubisoft and the New York Times to attack gamers over Assassin's Creed was a member of Sweet Baby Inc., the poster child for all things DEI in 2023 and 2024. So now this makes sense right here. If they're pushing this shit, oh, no wonder one of their consultants is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee. All the pieces come together, don't they? They all fit together. This game is not about having fun. It's not about escaping. It's not about just being a dude following the Assassin's Creed, fighting the Templars and all that stuff. No, you must be a gay black man in Japan. And then they put out some crap toys with a destroyed Tory gate that just insulted Japanese culture again. All over again. And then what did they do right away? Oh, a couple days later, they delayed it to February. And here we were all thinking, oh my goodness, they've delayed it to February. We know it's going to cost millions upon millions of dollars extra. And our good friend Dre, who has worked in the video game industry with big companies, has said at this point in time right here, their break-even point, because this thing had been in development for years upon years upon years, in addition now to the horrible marketing campaign, they need $1 billion to break even. I don't know what that's going to equal in units sold, but they need $1 billion, and they pushed it back to February, and it's going to cost them even more. And of course, then we're all thinking, wow, they're dropping this on Valentine's Day in February. It's Black History Month. Let's celebrate the gay black man having sex with Japanese men. That's what they were going to do. And we were excited to cover it until just yesterday when they said, we're pushing it back to March. So now they're racist. They can't put their game out in a Black History Month. Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows bullshit. You're running scared. You're running scared because nobody's buying your game. There are reports out there that the pre-orders are in the shitter. Nobody wants this game. Since November, we've been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews and overwhelming excitement that is truly inspiring us. Yeah, the gameplay videos that look like shit and everybody is ripped apart and roasted. The gameplay is garbage. Each week has brought us valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback to ensure even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. There's nothing you can do that will fix this game. You can't take out Yasuke. He's in it. He's part of the DNA, and that's the only thing that could possibly save it. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering high-quality Drek because we all think you're mouth-breathing idiots who will just hand over your money when you see Assassin's Creed. And then they've stepped in it again. Ubisoft, a French company, by the way. This is a French-based company. They have put this on March 20th, and I gotta admit, I forgot this too. If I hadn't seen this news today, I wouldn't have known. But apparently March 20th is the anniversary of the sarin attack in the Japanese subway. Yeah. Just good job, Ubisoft. Way to just completely destroy this game ever. This game, the normie interest, because normies aren't always connected. They will look at this. A few of them will buy it, but the word of mouth is already sunk this game. It is failure. Ubisoft was in talks with Tencent to be bought out, and now apparently even Tencent, the center of evil in Asian gaming, Tencent, has backed out. They're gonna go bankrupt. They are in discussions to go bankrupt right now. And somebody else will gobble them up. They will not be a company on their own, independent for much longer. They will not make it out of 2025 as an entity. They will be absorbed by somebody else, and maybe, just maybe it'll fix it, but I don't know. Either way, but this is what's happened for, I would say, 7 months? For the past 7-8 months. This has been Assassin's Creed Shadow, their story, and this is why it failed. Because right away, you committed to fake history. You were already fake history, but then you put in fake history and claimed it was real. All right? Then you told people to pay a shitload of money for a game that is shit. And then you find out that, guess what? We don't respect the culture we're dealing with in multiple instances, and we're going to force our crap on you. We're going to force our agenda on you, and now we're going to say, sorry, we're going to delay it again, except one last insult to the culture that is supposed to be of this whole thing. This game's going to do terrible. It's going to be the bomb that we all know it's going to be. Our good friend Jed, the Hollywood Scholar, is going to play it for your amusement, though. So join him when he does in March and help him suffer. Suffer, Jed, suffer. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this breakdown of why this game is a disaster, why it's gonna be a disaster, and why we're gonna celebrate the collapse of Ubisoft, because they deserve every single thing they're getting from this. For now, though, I am done. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated. If you are new here, I invite you to subscribe to me right here at YouTube, or hope to earn your trust and support using facts and logic, because facts and logic do not care about fake fan stands and SJW Fifis. Thank you again for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.